just tell our clients up front, hey, how fast can I get this? What's the time process? What's this? You know, Dennis, as soon as you get me that fact finder questionnaire and get it to Debbie Jones, did I say Debbie White? Debbie Jones. Eesh, proof I got a small brain. As soon as you get that stuff to Debbie, everything gets flying. And that, we are waiting on that. We cannot do anything for you until you get that in. So fact finder questionnaire is 4 pages. I mean, you have your name, your firm, you wouldn't say it like this. Fill out all that information, your designations, what real estate brokerage you're with, what firm, Twitter, Facebook, just, it's a form. Get online and fill it out. Fill out the physical version, fax it in, scan it in, email it as a PDF. Get that in, and then just go get your photos done. Don't outthink it. It's a 3-page instructions. Email it to a photographer. Go into a JCPenney, Sears. There's still big box stores that do the photography stuff, and there's photo suites everywhere. There's a zillion photographers out there. So just get those 2 banged out, get them in, and we're on it. Any other?
You're rolling. No, you're rolling.
All right, I'm cruising. I forgot one thing in there, but we'll get this started, and then again, I don't want to just have Chuck and I talk at you. We'll go through a bunch of goodies, and you have 2 agendas in front of you. You have this presentation. It's the big fat one. At least I hope you do. And if you don't, you have to have one in front of you. I printed 30 of them, so you've got to have one. It looks just like that in the front cover. You've got 2 agendas in there. Oh, okay. You got an extra one? Anybody need one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Holy. All right. Snap 2. Got an extra one here that I'm stealing for somebody. Right? You need one? Oh yeah. Just want to give them this. All right. Anybody else who need to get one too?
All I want to do.
Good deal. Does anybody still not have one?
I'm sure this is an important question.
Okay, those have it. You need one?
Still, yeah.
Okay. Borrow that one for now.
You know, you got an email during the night at 1:42 a.m. and you were still not working. They had a link to a PowerPoint.
That's what this, it's on that email.
So there's that in there, and then there's another written agenda. But we're going to go through this one first. Chuck and I will banter it back and forth. We'll go through that one. And I want to make sure we have tons of time to fire questions, go through things in depth. Interrupt anytime. Say something, raise your hand, throw something at me if we get on a roll. So we got the same agenda from the 22nd. You guys all saw the rules. Change your paradigm leave your paradigm at the door. No fear. Let's just go for it. I got a guy, white elephant. That's about the only one I want to cover on there. You're going to have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of prospects. Get them to the website, show them everything. If they're interested and excited, chat with them. If you can bring them on board, great. If not, get them on a 3-way call with Chuck or I, or if need be, Steven, and we'll bring them on board. Get us, since we're chatting about that, get us as many notes as you can. So if I'm going to hop on a 3-way call, I did one for Dennis the other day and one for Jen. Just, send me a text or an email real quick of, hey, I dated this guy in high school and he's a killer real estate agent, and whatever the details are, or he sells 36 homes a year, he wants to sell 100 homes a year, or this gal runs a real estate brokerage, she wants to check it out, she has 40 agents that work for her, and if it's all good to go, she'll bring it to her whole office. Just any kind of background you can give me on that prospect, every little bit is helpful. Just so when I get on the phone, I have some kind of context, and then I'll just jump in and take over. But just give me all those details, and we'll run with it and do the 3-way call. We'll talk later about how to do a 3-way call. It's really, really simple. Just text or email Chuck and I. We both have Calendly. It's like a calendar appointment setting. It's like a Google Calendar. And we've got the link in there. I'll make sure you guys have it in an email. You can just click on there, set an appointment with me, and I'll have it on my calendar, and I'll show up like clockwork.
How many minute blocks did you put into yours?
15, 30.
Yeah, I did all 4, or all 3 of you.
I set mine up in 20-minute blocks. Obviously, I can change it, but
Okay.
I wanted to know what you think is the right number that they should also schedule.
It's a good point. So Chuck said what in Calendly, when you set it up on our end, you can set up for 4 choices: 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute blocks. I skipped the 20-minute one. I had 15, 30, or an hour. So I figured you guys can pick which one you want. I would pick an hour or 30 minutes just so you have it, and so I book it on my calendar. From the past, Steven did a lot of three-way closing calls for us, right, Tony? I mean, Steven closed like 97% of our deals with financial planners, literally, and that might be an understatement. Every call, almost, was 35 to 45 minutes, and at the end of the call, the client was given a debit card, credit card, what have you, right? 40 minutes plus or minus a little bit. So I would book for an hour. And if somebody's available at 10:30, great. Again, my OCD and my little perfection nature. If you want to, try to just schedule them on the hour, but not a big deal. If somebody's available at 10:30, 11:30, whatever. But otherwise, just book it straight up on the hour, 8, 9, 10, whatever. So when you're booking appointments, just try to do that. Then, if a lot of you have three-way calls for me, I can just fill up the time slots, 8 to 9. That's what I plan on doing, by the way. That's why I'm getting all this stuff out of the way, because when we launch Full Tilt, and I'll come to you, Dan, when we launch Full Tilt, that's all I plan on doing from like 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. is three-way calls with you every hour if it's available. If I'm not on a three-way call, I'm just going to be doing stuff to crank out more volume and do more technology to get you guys more deals, and I'll do that nights and weekends. But that's what I plan on doing all day, is three-way calls, closing clients for you guys. Yes, sir.
So if we have a conference call line, are you okay if we use that and put that in the Calendly thing for you to call into that?
Yeah, but don't make it like a Rochambeau, like a 4-step process.
No, it's just you would call into a conference line and so would they. That's all.
Perfect. You know how there's, the webinars and you got to download the Citrix download, and then you got to.
I'm talking about just free conference calling.
Perfect. Yep.
How about the recording for educational purposes? That would not work in that scenario. So
Great point. So you guys know I'm going to record all my calls, just so you know. I'll record them outbound and inbound. So when I do a three-way call and you send me some information, what I'll be doing is calling our 480 outbound number. We'll talk more details about that later, but we have one 480 number, 480-559, whatever. So when you email me or text me or set up a call with me, at about 3-4 minutes to the hour, I'll call this number. It'll start the recording. It'll say, enter the 10-digit number of the prospect you're calling. Say it's Tony. I'll 480 blah 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 blah. That starts the recording. Then I'll call Tony, right? Or it asks for the 10-digit Tony's number. Call through. It's now recording. And then I'll hit add a call and I'll call Tony's prospect. Then the whole call is recorded. So we'll build up a bank of, how many ever, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 calls. I'll just put them on, they'll record, we'll have them on an MP3 file, and I'll just send you a batch of 20, 30 calls, good, bad, and different. I'll send you calls where somebody picked me up and body slammed me and snapped my back. I'll send you good calls where we closed, everything. I'm not shy, I'm not afraid, I got no fear, I couldn't care less if somebody tries to barbecue me. It will happen 1 out of 100 times, but not much.
So in Dan's case, we could call the conference line through
I would think
Conversa, so it's still going to work.
I would think so.
So if you you could call into the conference line through that and still record it.
Yep.
I would
That's the
think.
answer.
I'll get the answer from Conversa,
Okay.
our phone company. So all you guys know, you have an 800 number incoming, right? It just looks cleaner, crisp, more professional to have a 1-888. I don't know if anybody pays for long distance anymore. Everybody's got free long distance on their cell phone and home phone, I think. But just it looks cleaner, more professional instead of a local number. 480-602, I wonder where this gal's from, or I wonder where this guy's from. You just get rid of all that nonsense. So all those incoming calls to your 800 number are recorded. If you have a really, really good call with a prospect and you want to hear it or what have you, just shoot me an email and say, hey, today at 10 o'clock, Jim, I had a really, really good call. Do you mind sending me that file? I'll just get in the back office, grab it, send it out to you. If you want to share it with everybody and you want everybody to hear it, let me know. I won't share the calls unless you say, hey, I had a really good call. Send it out to all the sales execs. I mean, I put the bat on the ball solid, so it's a good one. So that records that, and then when you call out, maybe you want to make a call out and you don't want it recorded, just call through. If you do want it recorded, which I think you should, because you can listen to them later and say, oh, wow. That gal asked a question that I didn't even come close to answering it. I answered a question, just not her question, right? You'll learn a lot from listening to yourself on the phone. So you just dial that 480 number and it says, please enter the 10-digit number you're calling, and then you just put in your prospect's number and record that call. So yeah, we'll check out, Dan, and see if it'll do that, if we can call through that. Any other goodies I'm missing?
Nope.
All right, and I'll go through some of this stuff. We've already been through some of it before. Good to Great, the premise of the book. They said the most successful companies in the world do 3 things in this order. They get the wrong people off the bus, they get the right people on the bus, and then they move forward. And that kind of goes to what I said about 15 minutes ago. We're going to get all the kinks worked out, we get all the right people on, we'll invite the wrong people to get off, and then we'll move forward. So, love the book. That's the whole premise. There's some good learning in there. The flywheel concept is in there, I think, as well. The concept of in the world, you can't create energy and you can't get rid of energy, right? And 1 plus 1 is always 2. The concept that Jim Collins brought to the table is the flywheel concept. I'm not a workout guy, as you can see from my speedy physique, but they make weight machines that have a drum on them that's fat on one end and skinny on the other. I'm not real brilliant, so I don't know what that's called. But when you're doing bench presses, what was that? Pulleys? Okay, pulleys. We'll go with pulleys. When you get to one point, it goes all of a sudden a lot easier, right? So the flywheel concept is 1 plus 1 can equal 3 sometimes. So we've got a real quality, talented group here. The more feedback we bring to the table, we can learn from each other. I know Rob's already shared, Dennis, Ben Quigley, Brian. Some of you are already, meeting with each other and saying, hey, even though they're selling the same thing, I'm going to help them out. They'll help me out. We'll all get there together. 5.2 million realtors.